Like, how did you remember
Yeah.
everything?
So I actually have a crazy memory when it comes to like my childhood, like really helped talking to family members or like, you know, when it comes to wrestling, like the people like in the wrestling world. Like, for example, there was a chapter that I had that was in Scotland, and Drew McIntyre's in this chapter, right? And I'm like 13, 14 years old. And there was a wrestler who would later get charged with child pornography, right? And he was being a creep to me for such a long time. Like, he was just a really gross guy. Anyway, Drew overheard him say something really inappropriate to me. And I remember writing to Drew being like, you know, I'm just trying to remember this as accurately as possible. I was like, do you remember this time when, like, you know, this guy said something like really gross to me when I was like 14, you know? And he was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, you come here, right? And he said he took him to the room and he fucking laid into him. Like, I scared the guy so much that he didn't talk to me ever again. So like Drew, it was just, I appreciate him so much, like as just not as his wrestling character, as a person, 'cause I've known him for such a long time. And he even did like a quote from my book, you know, because he got to read it or whatever. But he was just, he saved me. He saved me from something that could have been just really, I mean, traumatizing, you know, with this creepy guy. And like, I talk about this creepy guy in there, and just how Drew like really fucking, yeah. Sorry if I'm cussing.
No, that's no. You're allowed to. You're allowed to. Casual conversations, cuss away.
Yeah, he's yeah. So I wrote to him just to make sure, like, you know, like, this is how I remember it. Is this like how you remember this, you know? And he was like, yeah. And he told me what he was saying to him and all that kind of stuff. So I love Drew for that. And like, you know, so anytime there was like even a little bit of like hesitation with like a memory, I would like, whoever was there with me, I would like contact them and we would talk it through and talk about it. And like, you know, because I also like, you know, there's so many different point of views to things too. And so like just getting someone else's point of view of what they saw and like they trigger memories from me too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. You know, like it's just crazy the stuff you forget and this crazy the stuff you remember. So yeah, it was a process, but you know, we put some time into it.